The man who assaulted worshippers at a mosque in Mississauga, Ontario last year has been sentenced to 8 years in prison. Mohammed Omar has pleaded guilty to 3 charges with terrorism classifications for the March 2022 attack. The video, which some viewers may find disturbing, was released by the National Council of Canadian Muslims. It shows Omar entering the Dar al-Tawhid Mosque and immediately begin using bear spray. Omar then started swinging an axe. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. Evidence presented during the trial showed Omar, who was 24 years old at the time of the attack, was motivated by hate for Muslims. The CBC's Sarah Galashan has been watching today's developments for us and joins us now live. So, reaction to this decision has been swift. What are we hearing?
I mean, the short answer, Andrew, is disappointment. The fact that this sentence has come as a result of a joint submission made by Crown and Defence, who agreed and made the recommendation for 8 years, makes it not really a surprise that Justice Bruce Durno has ruled in line with that joint submission, but it is also not a surprise to hear that the membership, the leadership of the mosque, as well as leaders of the greater Canadian Muslim community are expressing disappointment with this sentence handed to Mohammed Moise Omar, who, as you say, pleaded guilty to these 3 charges: administering a noxious substance with intent to cause bodily harm, assault with a weapon, and mischief to religious property motivated by prejudice or hate based on religion. There was a press conference that was called last hour, and we have heard at length the grievances and disappointment from leaders within the Muslim community at this 8-year sentence. I want to play you a little bit of what has been said.
A man who planned an attempted mass murder against peaceful, innocent Canadians should receive more than an 8-year sentence. I hope that this case still shows us how much more needs to be done to combat hate. This young man spent so much of his time online, drinking in hateful speech until he allowed it to warp his life. Political leaders need to look to combat online hate with sensible and effective legislation.
This attack involving bear spray and a hatchet swung within a mosque as worshippers were in the process of praying did not, as you say, result in any serious injury. One man suffered stomach, he was kicked in the stomach, and some after effects of the bear spray, and there was $16,000 worth of damage done to the mosque. But as part of this court process, an agreed statement of facts, as part of this guilty plea, an agreed statement of facts was entered into court. And that statement of facts does paint a clearer picture as to what the intent of the attacker was. And the leadership of the mosque insists that it was thwarted only by the fact that when worshippers realized what was happening, they stood up and they fought back. Andrew?
And so, Sarah, tell us more about what we learned from that agreed statement of facts.
Well, in it, Omar expressed hatred for Islam and Muslims. In addition to that bear spray and the hatchet that he had, it's also revealed that he had other weapons either on his person or in his vehicle, and those were pictures of those entered into evidence: a knife, cleaver, and an axe. He had also admitted to having tried to obtain a 3D printer capable of making a firearm, and as well had been on his hard drive in his computer showed that he had been inspired by the deadly Quebec mosque attack, as well as the 2019 mosque shooting in New Zealand, in which 51 people were killed, another 40 were injured. And as well, there were emails that he sent to himself over a period of a year indicating a high-level planning went into what he tried to carry out, and that a number of other targets were considered. Omar did agree that his offenses constituted terrorist activity. Justice Durno's sentence of 8 years for the assault, and then another 5-year concurrent sentences for the other charges. What that means is that with credit for already time served, Omar will be serving another 5 years, 3 months, and 15 days. But Andrew will be eligible for parole after just half of that has been served.
Sarah, thank you. The CBC's Sarah Galashan.